up for you.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Frozen Frontier. There we go. What's the problem with burning hands, Sean?
If they don't all pile up for Yarmir to take him out in one fell swoop like he did last time, if they spread out, it's not particularly valuable.
It's a little bit underwhelming, Burning Hands.
I mean, it is a first level spell.
Burning Hands is like one of the premier damage dealing spells in D&D.
Its damage scales really well. It's like a it's like a fireball.
The damage does, but you feel like you're gonna hit like 10 people when you only hit like 2.
Yeah, the AoE component of it is not great.
Yeah, I mean, it's only 5 feet long, 120-degree arc, so you can hit like 2 or 3 things. 3 things at best, right?
Yeah, but 3 things for lots of damage is great.
For
good against gnolls for sure, actually.
Yeah.
Like it's a solid spell, but I think a lot of people think of the AoE component and they want to employ it as an AoE nuke, but it's really more of like a 2 to 3 target nuke.
Yeah. And a lot of new players see it and they get excited and they're like, "Oh wow, we've got all these goblins in the room. I'm going to take them all out." And
it's like, yeah, you singed 3 of the goblins pretty thoroughly, and it's like, oh, well, that was underwhelming.
Sorry, you guys are advanced players. We don't have those problems.
Advanced.
We've already had our expectations
destroyed.
I have never played a wizard though.
Never ever?
Yeah.
No, I played clerics, I played fighters, I played a thief. I've got some stories from being a thief, but I've never played a wizard.
It's different. You should especially
if I die, I'll try a wizard.
So, Neal, can we see the world overview?
Oh, of course. Here's our map of Caledonia.
Have we made it? We went. So did we skip 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Yes.
Grimes is bored. Oh man, even on with non-complete bed rest, he was back to full in a week. I don't even know what I would have done that second week. I mean, can I get
drink?
Can I just seal the deal on a set snares proficiency? Can I spend
yeah, because you have a spare proficiency slot, right?
I've had that for like a level or 2.
Yeah, so why don't
but
we
I just haven't really committed.
You...
So can I spend the whole week de-snaring the 300 yards immediately around the fort?
Yeah.
And setting up my own snares that I know where they are?
Yep.
Do we have twine to requisition?
Yes, we do.
Cool. So I raid our I don't know, what do we call it? Our inventory.
We have 20 feet of twine.
Cool. Maybe let's just probably use all of that.
No, I'm sorry. I'm looking in the wrong place. We might
and
have...
we got winter blankets.
We have 200 feet of twine.
And we got rope. Yeah, so there's... Yeah. I don't know how... Can I start rolling proficiency checks to see how successful I am on some of these, Neal? Or are those done in secret? How do we want to handle this?
So, on how successful your snares are?
Yeah, if they will work as traps, how many of them I have set up, and then I think I'll at some point sit everyone down at the fort and let them know where they are and how to maneuver in and out without setting them off.
Sure. What is your set snares skill?
I don't know. I don't have it, but I do have a spare non-weapon slot. So let's go ahead and pull up our proficiency.
New proficiency
spreadsheet.
Document. Yeah.
Add a set snares, and because I am I don't know how you've changed things, but because I'm a rogue, I can make man traps typically. Meaning I can make traps large enough for gnolls or maybe even larger creatures if I had some help. But let's check what skill this is based on. Yeah, I think it's a stat that I'm not good at, which is why I didn't pick it to begin with. But hell, why not?
Character can make simple snares and traps, catching primarily to catch small game.
It's wisdom based.
Thief characters with this proficiency can also attempt to rig man traps. These things involve such things as crossbows, deadfalls, spikes, springboards, etc. Procedure is the same setting for a large snare. The DM must determine the damage caused by the man trap. Setting a small snare or trap takes 1 hour of work. Setting a larger one requires 2 to 3 people, only one need have the proficiency, and 2d4 hours of work. Setting a man trap requires 1 or more people, depending on its nature, and d8 hours of work. To prepare any trap, the character must have the appropriate materials on hand.
So let me propose this. I had given you my downtime with the assumption of 1 week. So let's say I spent the first week bumbling around like we kind of described before the break. And by the second week, can I have enough of an idea of what needs to be done to meet up with the fort's scouting party and have them help me like de-snare the forest and set up our own and like plan out a zigzaggy route through the woods that we can take. Sorry if my internet just cut out for a second.
That's fine. Yeah, that'll work.
So can we say 7 days of man traps? It sounds like we can make maybe 1 or 2 a day. And and Grimes does not have the patience for this sort of work. I've only got 9 willpower. I do have rope use, which I am much better at. So I bet a lot of these are like ropes in the trees that like snag kobold ankles and things.
Right. You want some nice rope trees. So you like bend some branches back and like you're gonna need sufficient rope for this. Let's see what the fort has for rope on hand.
Well, we have tons of rope.
How much rope do you have?
You're talking to here? Hundreds of feet. 500 feet.
The amount of rope 400. We have 175 feet of silk rope remaining, 125 feet of silk rope remaining, and 400 feet of thick rope remaining. Depending on what we did with the 100 feet in the lighthouse that we took back, did we put it back in our stores?
And we have.
I think everything at the lighthouse got left at the lighthouse.
Yeah, that 100. We want that at the lighthouse. We've also got
and that 100 feet still at the lighthouse.
Yeah, but there's 400 feet. That's more rope than we need. We've also got 2 spare crossbows. I want 2 crossbow traps, too. Or are those better off in the fort?
You can do whatever you want with your crossbows. You're going to want to use thin rope for this sort of stuff, because thick rope is like 3 strands of thin rope put together. The fort has...
But I can unravel the thick rope to make 3 strands of thin rope.
Could.
Which is probably what I do. So let's how many feet do you think is fair to remove, Neal?
I'm going to say each foot trap will probably take about 50 feet of rope. Because you need the rope to go here and there, and then you need rope to like pull back branches because you need to like create a energy storage mechanism. So you'll need like rope to help store the tree energy,
and rocks.
Ropes and rocks and all this fun stuff. So real easy way of doing it is 50 feet of rope per snare.
How many can I set in the week with the men?
You can do 1 to 2 a day.
All right, I'm going to add a section to my sheet labeled man traps. How many did you say per day?
1 to 2.
Can I... Okay, 1d2 per day. Can I roll some checks for the week? So I guess 7 checks?
Yep. Give me 7 set snares checks, I suppose.
And are these... Okay, so if these are wisdom based, they're at 9 is the 9 or lower, or I guess we can add 9. I declared 9. I don't know, either way.
Your wisdom is 9, right?
2, yeah.
So you need to roll a 12 to succeed.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, so
inverted. So 3 successes, 3d2 max. So 6, perfect, and it divides by 3. So that takes 6 times 50 is 300 feet, but because we've got thick rope, it's only 100 feet to requisition. Are you adding that, Greg, or do you want me to?
100 feet to requisition? Gotcha.
Yeah, extra 100 feet. And it looks like you gave us permission, so FYI, I did also remove crossbow bolts that I refilled on the character sheet.
Yeah, sounds good.
Do we want any of those to be bow traps, that shoot kobolds, or should they just be snares? Let's just have them snares, and the crossbows can stay in the fort.
Crossbows are expensive.
Yeah, so I don't think and maybe we'll even catch some food with this. But hopefully this will solve fort problems for a little bit, and we can head off knoll hunting whenever the party is ready.
Sure. I think after 2 weeks, the party is rested and ready to go out. I think David and Ferris have been hanging out to the point that David has been given explicit tasks to do other things because the two of them are getting a little rowdy together.
Yeah, and we're cooking too much food, probably.
Yeah, like you're burning through supplies at an inefficient rate.
Yeah, like we've been experimenting with meals, and like we made dinner for everyone, and then Ferris like, I could have done this better if we just used more butter. And then we go and we make a second dinner for everybody, and it's starting to we're burning. I can see it. We're burning.
Yeah, and David is a little drunk. So there's like a grease fire every now and then, and it's just it's problematic. They're trying to usher you out of the fort. So here we are, 2 weeks later. It is the 12th of November.
Right, so I've marked on this brown area on the map. I think we've already checked the other bit that was closer. So I think if we check this area for gnolls over the next few days, what do you think?
You want to check the brown area?
Yeah.
Okay.
They've been ambushing patrols, right?
Yeah, Kobolds have.
Maybe we should attempt to go in the areas that have been patrolled, and
I think
ambushers.
Yeah, but I think rather than fight kobolds, we want to find gnolls, right?
I mean, they all need to die.
Yeah, I think we should. We
All
don't
right,
think we can really kill
we can
16.
search for the gnolls.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, what do you think about that area? Because I think we have searched.
Yeah, that was our best guess as to where Musa's tribe was based. I think if we can find any humanoid, we can ask them. It seems like the kobolds and the gnolls are working together.
Oh yeah.
So whatever we can find is probably good. In 2 weeks, Neal, we've seen no sign of what shall we call them? The chaotic species.
You have seen
Kobolds,
signs
gnolls,
of them.
Nothing.
Yes.
But okay.
There's been no combat encounters with them, but they have been spotted every now and then, kind of poking their heads through trees, or when you've gone on patrols, you've seen tracks of them around, but there's been no run-ins.
Did we find any other traps to disarm, by the way? We sort of glossed over that as an activity.
Were
there other traps, or was that
traps? No, there were others.
Do I have a feel for how far out their territory goes? Is it
they seem to be the closest trap to the fort was maybe 100 feet in from the tree line.
Oh, so it was within the tree line. They somehow snuck in after dark, maybe.
Into the tree. So yeah.
And the trees are 100 feet from the fort, or was it more than that? You had a description inside.
I had a description.
Let's see.
I'll have to look it up.
The clearing around Fort Wick is 300 feet of open ground.
Okay, so it's 300 feet, and then tree line, and then 100 feet beyond that is where the kobold traps have been.
Okay, and so we've cleared out to, I think we said, so another 200 feet or so, right?
Right. At least you cleared it out. It took a week to do that. They could have been rebuilding them as you were clearing them.
Nah, and I've got this section of the wood snared. I think this is my territory for now, and we'll start pushing out from here.
Nice.
And see if we can find signs of the kobolds.
Okay.
Or better yet, gnolls. And I think you're right. We should just we should head 3 miles direct there.
Yeah, and then
start just arcing out.
All right.
Either way works for me. Just tell me where to go and I'll lead us there.
All right, let's do it. Let's find Musa.
Are we taking the elf skull with us?
Of course. Every time we leave the fort, I go into Yaramir's room and take down the elf skull and tie it back to my belt.
We need a name for Yaramir's room.
What the fuck is this shit room?
The study.
Something a little more compact, maybe.
Okay.
Study's
what
not
if you say it
enough.
really fast? You get rid of the spaces between the words.
The attic. It's on ground level, but
the lab.
What would the lab? It's almost like a witch doctor's hut in the fort. I don't even know what would the soldiers call it.
I don't know. I'll come up with the name.
Maybe they just don't. Yeah, maybe they just aren't talking
zone.
About it. They're pretending like it doesn't exist.
The red zone. It's the place they can go.
Many touchdowns are scored.
The closet. The witch's closet or the witch's cupboard or something like that.
Ooh, yeah. We'll figure it out later.
Yeah. I give Yaramir his amulet back.
Of course.
And as I hand it back to him, I say, you can keep this for now, but when all of this is over, it doesn't belong to you.
That's fine. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That's negotiable. We'll see.
Yeah, I say
so your first day out is a moderate day. Are you guys encumbered at all? Or you're all good now?
I'm always lightly encumbered.
I am
if you have to ask,
Well,
I'm lightly
it
encumbered.
depends on the day, right? Sometimes this whistle is just super fucking heavy and I'm lightly encumbered. Some days I can manage this whistle, that 1/10 of a pound, and then I'm fine.
no, because we need to take rations, right? So we're probably
Yeah, I mean, we have
I
a
never
sled,
carry
right?
my own rations. Unless we want to be encumbered, then I can carry 9 pounds.
Right. And we don't need that much wood to carry with us. We
don't need
mostly
to carry any wood. I can carry 30 days worth of rations without being encumbered.
You can go into light encumbrance because we're going to be light encumbered anyways.
Oh, okay.
I'm always lightly encumbered. I cannot move without being lightly encumbered.
So then I can take 9 pounds of other stuff.
No, it's
D8 plus 6 times 2/3.
Yep.
Also,
All right, so
Neal, one thing that we might want to talk about that this was actually one of the coolest things I learned from Hackmaster is they have a rule in place to facilitate taking your backpack off at the start of a fight to drop some of your excess weight. Because like a lot of the things that you carry go into a pack, right? And the game actually, because it counts the rounds second by second, but it actually says like you can take a few seconds at the start of a round to take your backpack off and lower your encumbrance rating.
It's quite cool.
Yeah, and that might be something that we might want to.
If you want to say that you want to drop your
In
pack
Neal
at
and
combat,
Dragons, we just keep meticulous spreadsheets of how much weight of gear we have and where it is, and do the math instead.
Have you guys seen the latest update to the character sheet? It actually does break out your gear into on your person and in your backpack specifically for this purpose
really?
of dropping.
I didn't know that you updated
I know
it.
this update came earlier in the week.
Oh, okay.
There's a
I might
brand
Make
down
a better
with that.
system, just make better technology that can handle our
Our
All
nonsense.
right, so
yeah.
do I need to requisition rations, or can I pack up for free for it?
You have
that
to
okay?
requisition rations, Ryan, and you have to get
So
someone else to fill the form out for you because you're illiterate.
Okay.
Yeah,
For you
we
get to
have that.
fill out your
We have that
form.
played out though. Like
So yeah, I mean, that's what
I
I'm
write all of
bringing
his
it up, is how
requisition
to-
forms, and he hands them all in for me, so I never have to see the quartermaster again in my life.
Meanwhile, Yarmir's trying to date the quartermaster.
Yeah.
I am, yeah. I awkwardly
Okay,
make...
either way, that's why I was bringing it up, because I need 14 pounds of rations. And I
Okay,
would ask
you
for
can
that.
get your rations. That's fine.
Yeah, I don't. For the record, I don't steal them or anything like that.
Right.
I'd probably bother everyone by asking and not knowing who to go to, or maybe I go straight to Ferris.
We'll have to get back to you and the quartermaster a little bit later, Yarmir. I forgot about that.
Next time.
That's okay.
Dating.
Right, but I got a week of rations.
This round of passes were clearly just, like, inconsequential.
Yeah.
It was neither curried nor lost.
So, you guys are heading out. Did we roll that d6 plus 3
yeah, let's do
divided
that.
by 3
3
times
fourths.
4? Yeah.
So D6 plus 3.
D6 plus 3.
Okay. Times 4. Terrible.
You guys barely get anywhere. Boop.
What was the weather like?
You don't
It's
even
moderate,
get that
I
far.
believe.
Yeah, it was moderate. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're
I mean, that makes sense,
Russians.
right? It's
The weather's not great, and this place probably isn't being like they're probably not moving out of the fort very often, so it's
Yeah.
probably been piling up for a while.
And I think we take our time more than anything, right? I mean, so this
That's true, yeah.
narratively, this makes sense, right? We spend the first 2 hours probably Grimes doing a lap of the clearing and pointing out to the party. All right, here's where our 6 snare traps are.
Yeah.
You've got this 10-foot segment here, this 10-foot segment over here, this 10-foot segment over here. If you ever need to like run in and out quickly.
Right. That makes sense. Yeah. The next day, the weather breaks and it's nice and light. That is D8 plus 6.
We've avoided blizzards for a while, haven't we?
Yeah, there
Not
haven't
for
been
much
any
longer.
blizzards. I actually
9.75
didn't-
miles.
Yeah, I
Oh,
didn't
nice.
roll weather for the last 2 weeks that you were in the fort. It's possible that there was a blizzard during that time. I
Yeah.
just didn't ever roll it.
We can probably do a fair bit of this with this.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
so
we're
that's
gonna
about-
crisscross across the whole thing, right? Is the plan?
Yeah, so you start crisscrossing through this area.
Not at this point, right? We're beelining it to where we think the Neal territory
Yeah,
is.
in the circle we're going.
Oh
to
yeah, in the
crisscross.
next day, yeah.
We go here first and then.
But
And we've
we
done
have
this-
like an extra 5 miles after we make it to the circle.
No, more than that. More like 8 miles.
So
It
you
wasn't like
start
4?
zigzagging in. You spread out a little bit, just enough to you can still talk to each other, but may not be able to see each other all the time. Looking for monsters, looking for kobolds or gnolls, but you find none in this region.
So could we say that we've crossed that off?
Sure,
Okay.
that's fine.
Okay.
The next day is an 8 on the weather chart.
Moderate.
Weather chart is a light day, so that's another D8 plus 6.
D8 plus 6. Okay. 6.75.
Sure. So you scour that next section, let's call it. Oh, that's not
Nice.
even that section, because that's like 9 miles across, so yeah. Something like that, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, like this?
Yeah, that's
Or,
fine.
or
That's
less. Yeah, okay.
fine.
So let's drop some more rations for the last 2 days.
You know, the gnolls tend to camp in
caves.
Yeah, they aren't. I mean, the debate rages in Disco and on Reddit, right? But they're not civilized in that they don't build their own settlements, right? But they do seem to huddle in
natural shelter.
Natural shelters and the ruins of civilizations past, right?
They might have built something though. Like we don't know that they're not smart enough to build their own shelters. They could probably build like probably the reason they went into like actual buildings is because they were like of a more technologically sophisticated structure than what they can build themselves. So they can probably still build things.
Yeah.
Like they have opposable thumbs, right?
Yeah.
But my point is, there's got to be some natural cave complex or a ruined village or something in this area.
So you're searching this region right now.
Yeah, that's what we're looking for.
You're fairly spread out. Jaromir, of all the people to catch sight of your quarry, I don't know if you're the best one to do it, but in this situation, you are the one who catches the sight of them. You're all spread out. You're kind of looking. And you see a white group of like lumps kind of just moving through the trees a few hundred yards off.
Like in the branches, like in the trees?
No, like in the forest. They're at ground level. Yeah,
a few hundred yards off. So
a few
like
hundred yards off.
At minimum 600 feet.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I do my best, like, hide impression. I obviously am not a proficient hider. I probably have played some hide and go seek with Amelie in the fort, and I use my best Amelie hiding skills, and I bleed out into the whistle like the SOS kobold's whistle.
Okay.
Kobolds or gnolls? I mean, I guess we all hear the whistle.
Little white lumps,
creatures.
And come running. I think Grimes goes into stealth mode if possible. I assume you would always try to be.
I mean, I can't. I don't have a stealth mechanically, but I would get up as close as I can before alerting them, then fire my bow. Is the plan?
Right. So the whistle pierces the air. The party comes running back together, and you guys clump up once more. But as you're approaching Jaromir, you don't see these lumpy things moving through the snow anymore, and Jaromir kind of lost sight of them while he was trying to hide from them to maintain his life. So,
they were a few hundred yards that direction. When I blew whistle, I do not know where they went, but
it's possible they went into the snow.
So we try and head towards where Jaromir spotted them and see if Ferris can pick up a track.
Yeah, I'm gonna kick around the snow.
Hang on. Let's be careful though, because if it's a group of like 60, though, we don't want to just walk up.
How many did you count, Jaromir? A rough approximation.
I counted at least 3.
Oh, okay.
All right, Ferris is gonna move forward. He's gonna like kick around the snow as he's moving and try and see if they're like hiding underneath the snow.
They're not.
I've got a crossbow bolt readied, and can we confirm, Jaromir, that they were snowbolts?
Can I?
Were they small? Were they large forms? My impression.
They were kind of far off, so I think your unknowing.
I don't think the gnolls were white furred. I think
I don't think so either. Well, south of the wall they were.
Huh?
The scrags.
They look different though. The ones south of the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're bigger, light grey fur.
But these are gnolls up here. I would assume Moose's tribe is.
So by
this
find
point,
the area where the gnolls were moving.
Gnolls, okay.
Yeah, it's definitely gnolls when you get there. The footprints are nice and big, and there's a very clear like progression, stop, and like a flurry of movement back the other way over their own tracks. The weather is light, so the tracks are very clear, and they are booking it southward.
Before we chase them, what's the goal here? Are we killing them now, or do we still wish to?
No, we can negotiate with gnolls. Kobolds die. Gnolls we can work with.
If this is Moose's band, I think we can.
I think time of negotiation is probably past. It may be best.
It's worth a shot.
All right.
Let's give Grimes a chance. If not, we'll kill him.
He is our resident ambassador.
And I take off in a jog.
Okay.
Yeah. So I guess I lead the party at this point with the
Do they seem like they're running from us?
I mean, how can tracks in the ground tell you if they're running from you or not?
Distance between footsteps.
Yeah, do they get faster when they
I am a proficient tracker.
There is... give me a tracking check, please.
Let me make... I think it's plus 12 for tracking. Let me look really fast. Tracking, no, 14. That's a pass.
There are signs of hurried movement initially at the spot where they do an about face, but it quickly returns to a nice steady pace.
Okay.
And you've already spent most of your day searching when you come across these tracks. So you follow them as best as you can until it gets dark out.
Sure.
And you guys are going to have to rest and pick up the trail in the morning.
Yeah, I'm going to look at the...
Okay.
I want to see what the weather's turning toward. So it's plus 12 for the check. That's a fail, so I don't know how the weather's changing. But I'll hope... I mean, it's a light day, so I'm hoping the tracks are going to last, assuming the weather doesn't get worse overnight.
Did we not catch them, though, Neal?
You do not catch them, no.
They're moving quicker than us.
Yeah.
You're sure they were white, Yaromir?
That's what Neal said. It's all
perhaps these gnolls got their hands on some polar bear hides.
Well, maybe that means
right. The gnolls wore clothes.
Bokassa, right? Maybe it's a different color, different tribe.
This has got to be Musa. If you're willing to give up that axe, I think we can make some sort of exchange.
What do we want, though?
And to stop fucking up our shit. You want? Do you say that? This is like our.
Yeah. It's like, what does he want? I'm like, I want their scalps.
We don't need to kill everything we come across, Yaromir.
We need to know what Nash meant by the wall, where Bokassa found his steel weapons.
The wall.
Yeah, he said.
I assume that's the mountain range.
Perhaps, but we didn't find any settlements in the mountain range, so we could have missed something. So there's that. And then, unless we can convince them to help us kill the kobolds, I don't know that an alliance is particularly beneficial for us.
That's exactly what I'm suggesting.
Okay.
Right now, it seems like they're working with the kobolds.
Exactly.
And we want that to stop.
If all they offer is to not work with the kobolds, I don't think that's enough. Well, we'll see how strong they are, but unless they're actively going to help us.
The initial plan I had for an alliance was, look, we have a kobold problem, and you guys like killing kobolds for sport. Go kill all of these kobolds, and we'll give you Bokassa's axe, and you get to be the new leader of the gnolls. Like, Bokassa's dead.
So I can get behind that. But if all they say is, well, we're not going to kill the kobolds, but we won't work with them, I don't think that's enough. They're too close to the fort. So let's just see what happens. All right.
Okay. So the next day, before we get to the next day, what do you do that night? Are you taking any extra precautions?
We're taking watches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably burn the fire somewhat low.
I guess we argue as well as to what we're going to do with the gnolls, whereas it seems like Grimes and Faris are more inclined to let them live, whereas Yaromir and myself would rather see them dead.
I've got 49 feet of silk rope. I'd like to encircle our tent in a tripwire. What's a 49-foot circumference going to give us? 49 divided by pi r squared. Let's see. Where's Google? Do math for me. Divided by pi. Square root of 50. That's not even that big. I'll have to. That's 3-foot radius. No, that's nothing. I need that twine. I'll do what I can with the 49
3-foot radius is 49-foot circumference.
Yes. 4 foot. Right?
Isn't circumference 2 pi?
Diameter pi.
2 pi. You are. Yes, I just calculated the area. What am I even? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. There we go.
Never do math on stream.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's 49,
18
divided by pi, and then divided by 2. No, yeah. So 8.
It's 2 pi r, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So it'd be 18. If it's a 3-foot radius, it's 18 feet for the circumference.
Yeah, but we need
15.
We already know the circumference we're solving for r.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
we get
49 feet.
Okay.
So 49 divided by 2 pi gives us r.
Oh, okay. I thought you were working with the radius.
So we've got a 15.5 foot diameter or 7.8 foot radius. Okay, cool. So we've got a tent, and then we've got a 15-foot radius like ring of rope that's like strung at ankle level around trees, and I think we take watches. Do you want me to roll a trap check to the success of that tripwire, Neal?
No,
or
this is fine. I know what's going on. All right, the night passes
we do have
fairly
a fire,
uneventfully. Actually, I just wanted to see what you were doing.
Making me all paranoid.
That's the way you should be. You should be terrified. The next day, the tracks are still there, and it remains light.
Excellent.
So can I get your movement again for the day?
Yeah. Yo. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Slower than the gnolls, though, if they're actually trying to get away from us.
Well, they
Maybe
should
we
have
can
to
find
roll
their
as well.
cave. Is this a featureless forest, Neal? Like there's no terrain? Or is there terrain, and that's what we're looking at? That's what we're investigating.
There
Like
is
looking at-
rain. I don't know what you mean.
Okay, so we're like looking through, like, oh, I wonder if in this valley there's a cave that the gnolls might be. I mean, like we're looking.
Right, but the
if
tracks
there's
are
any...
very clear where they're going because they're in the snow and the weather has been really good. So you don't even need to like worry about where them. Like you have a very clear path to follow. You got lucky with the weather today. The tracks actually lead back to what is almost very clearly an encampment. You come across this mounded area where there's kind of like a snow wall built up, and you can kind of see like the shape that would indicate like a roof or something. You can't see in because there's like this big like 10-foot wall of snow that kind of like it's like a hill except it's flat.
Looks like an igloo.
No.
Oh no!
So I climb up...
it's like a snow castle.
Yeah, I'll circle around
it's like
and
a
climb
snow
up
castle. It's like
and climb
60
up
feet across.
Okay. Can I circle around and climb up the back of this mound? So, like, if there's a
before
door
you
entrance...
I would rather you guys have like, if you want to just run off and start circling around and climbing on the back away.
That is my first reaction when we see the structure, yes.
All right, so Grimes
is too
Grimes. Yeah.
No, I try and stop him and say...
Okay, I mean, this is... Okay, I'm like a few feet away from you.
Ferris
like,
draws his bow. You want me to stop him, Chief?
I'm right there. I turn back to look, and like...
If they find you hiding, they might take it as hostile. Do we not want to try and do this peacefully? I need you to translate.
It's a fool who walks into the bear's den without an ace in the hole.
Something like that.
I'm pretty sure I just
there.
mixed a bunch of different anachronistic phrasings into that one sentence there, but you get the point.
You're the only one who speaks Gnoll, Grimes, so we need you here to negotiate.
Where's here? I don't see anyone to negotiate with.
Listen, look, Grimes, you do the negotiating. I'll sneak off a little ways into the woods and shoot at anything that tries to attack. I can attack from the flank.
I think
we don't even know their home.
I take out my horn.
All right, Ferris starts to stalk off to the side a little bit and finds like some tree cover he can hide in and shoot from the side if anything goes south.
Okay.
What do we think? Are you sure you want to try and talk to these things?
That seems to be what you're ordering me to do here, Captain.
Well,
I'm getting. Forgive me if I'm getting mixed messages. I'm not sure whether we're negotiating or ambushing.
Well,
blow your horn. Let's do it that way. I think as Ferris goes off for the flank.
Yarman,
leaving the three of us. Yeah.
I'm here.
All right. I guess I take out the horn and blow it.
I have a trombone handy.
Production value.
So everyone sticks around, or is Grimes moving off?
Ferris went off.
I stalked off to the side. I want to find like some tree cover that's not immediately visible, but like off to the side where I can clearly shoot at anything that like comes out of the hut if they try to attack.
Right.
Okay.
Like I want a clear line of sight to the hut and the party, basically.
Sure. So you blow the horn, and then a few moments later, like a gnoll head pops up over the wall.
How far away is
scans
this?
the area. I don't know how far away you guys away from the wall. You never specified a distance that you wanted to be when you blew your horn.
Where we spotted it. I think
100 yards, maybe.
All right, 100 yards.
I think as soon as we spotted it. right?
So I say to Grimes, tell them we wish to parley.
Yeah, I step towards if I need to. I think we're 100 yards of shouting distance, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I shout, "Oi! Knowles!"
The Knoll calls back.
Is that within earshot?
Sure. The call comes back. Dogface!
We come peacefully.
Put your weapons down!
They are sheathed. My captain wishes to parley with Musa.
The head disappears below the snow wall.
What did it say?
Yeah. Did you hear him bark?
He said dog faces, didn't he? Or something.
Yeah, I feel like they're the dog faces.
Yeah, it's a bit fucking rich, mate.
So a few minutes pass. Ferris, you're still off to the side with a bow?
Yeah, I'm watching. I keep an eye out behind me as well in case something's like... Because I don't know that they're all in there, so I'm making sure nothing's sneaking up on my rear.
Right. So a few minutes pass, and then a head pops up. And another head pops up, and another head pops up. And you see... What is this? You see 6 gnolls coming to, like, stand so that maybe their chest and up is visible over the wall of snow. They're all armed with spears and kind of like tattered hides for armor.
Is Musa in there? I looked at Captain.
One of the gnolls speaks and says, "I will talk with you. What do you want?"
Ask them to meet us face to face.
Want them to come out?
Yeah.
Come that we may speak face to face. Muzzle to nose. Our weapons are down, and I hold both.
We have heard word of your dishonesty, of your betrayal, of your
Tell
cowardice.
them we have a gift for Musa. I wish to give it to them in person.
I look to William nodding. Betrayal. I consider myself friend to Nash. We fought alongside against the Kinslayer.
I say to Yaramir,
you have been betrayed, but not by us. What's that, Nick?
I say to Yaramir, how did he learn this language?
Why should I trust you, who have been hunting my people, murdering us, invading our homes?
Perhaps
what did it say?
He asks how he can trust us.
We're here to crown Musa King of the Knolls, right?
King in the Knoll!
Perhaps our kinds have reacted violently in the past. Too quick to draw blood.
A little misunderstanding.
Not a little misunderstanding, I translate. We have an offering of peace for Musa.
Then you must come and discuss it in the hut.
They're inviting us in.
I look at Grimes and Yaramir.
I start walking towards them, towards the fort.
All right. What about Faris though?
Ferris waits outside. He's not moving from that spot. So if you're going in, you're going in without him.
That's fine.
Yarmir, right. You going in too?
You'll have to like break out if you want him to be able to give you covering fire later.
I can handle
it. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I'm not.
He's not super stoked about the idea.
I'm not leaving my friends to like go wander in there alone.
Alright, unlike that untrustworthy elf.
Hey, man.
I'll just sit this one out, boys. I'll just wait over here in this tree.
Come out of the hut. I'll shoot to your heart's fucking content, okay?
Yeah.
It's a little late for me to come out now. I was literally hiding ready to shoot them all.
So
I don't think it'd be too good if I walked out.
Party comes with me.
Yeah. We'll come on with.
And Ferris is outside, probably moving closer to get like a better sniping position.
I'm sure to like position my belt so the like kobold scalp is prominent on my features.
I have to. I just realized that Ferris has this glowing skull on him,
I can always put it in my
revealing
backpack,
his position wherever he is. So like he's hiding in a tree, but there's just this 30-foot glowing orb of light around.
I mean, it's pretty apparent around. Like if it showed up in daylight, I feel like he'd be wise enough to put it in his backpack.
Yeah.
But no, I guess one thing I would do is once they're all inside, I'll probably stalk close enough that I could hear sounds from inside. So if I hear a fight break out, I can rush in.
Right.
We've got our whistles.
So you guys get
so
to
as we get closer,
within like 40 or 50 feet of the fort, and the same Neal that's chatting says, "Lay down your weapons. Do not trust you in our home."
Yeah, Grimes will like undo his climbing harness that has affixed to it most of his gear.
Okay.
I'm sure I've got a lot of throwing knives. I've probably got a few blades tucked in various places, but that's the visible majority of the weapons.
They want our weapons.
And I'll set my crossbow outside.
So Grimes like takes his belt off, tosses it down, sets his crossbow down. I
say to William, they want us to lay down our arms. I understand if you want to wait out here or something.
I'll drop my javelins and my harpoon, and but I try and just leave my sword belt on.
Okay, Grimes, you still have weapons on you, right? You just
technically, but not obvious. Like you know how rogues are. Okay. So we'll if it comes to that, I'll try and lawyer that I pull a throwing knife out of my butthole or something. But
Will they let me carry on with my sword belt?
They don't shout at you after you drop your javelin.
So what are we outside of? This is a human
Well, no, so pretty much from your viewpoint, it's just like a large mound of snow.
Okay, yeah.
Think of like if there was a wall, it's been covered in snow and you can't see any structures underneath the snow or behind it. And the snow is like 15 feet, 10, 15 feet. So it's significant. You can't really tell what they're in right now.
But I'm curious, so let me know as soon as I'm close enough to get an idea.
And Yarmir, you're coming along too, right?
Yeah.
So I would like to pick up out of William's gear off the. Do we have the sled with us, or did we leave that out?
I guess
where Ferris is.
I guess we leave that in the forest.
Do we even have a sled? Are we still?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we have the sled with us. It's like our shitty board sled.
Sure. It's got our tent and our rations on it.
So as we're dropping our gear behind, I would like to find the axe if William isn't already producing it.
Oh yeah, no, I've got that with me.
So so take that. I think we leave all the weapons. Will you leave your longsword in the snow like this?
No, I don't. I drop my javelins and my harpoon. I keep my longsword on my belt, and I guess I've got the axe on my belt.
I think the axe conspicuously like in your hand, right? So it's very obvious that you're bringing it, and maybe even like you're holding it out like a gift.
Yeah,
see what they say about the longsword, and
I'll make a show of putting my little sling on his harpoon.
Ooh, hey, look at this. I feel like we've had this map ready for a long time, only now getting to use it.
This map has been ready since day 0. So you get to about here, you see this large pile of gnolls. As you're getting a little bit closer, there's like a quick flash of a grin from the gnoll that you're speaking to, and they all draw their swords and charge down the snow embankment.
These little shitbags. Alright, it's on, motherfuckers.
How far back is our gear?
We'll get to the battle on the other side of the break. See you guys soon.